Real Madrid, second in La Liga, out in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. But there is a couple more trophies to play for because Copa del Rey is still on the line. So, Phil, welcome into Morning Footy. I think it's Rayo Vallecano's first ever appearance on Footy Kit Friday. How are you?
I'm very pleased to be here, and I thought I'd get involved in Footy Kit Friday, so there we go, Rayo Vallecano getting involved.
Hey, I love it.
Nice.
Absolutely love it.
What's the lowdown with Carlo Ancelotti? There's reports everywhere. This is the journalistic moment that kind of it makes me so sad because everyone is tossing out who they think is next. Literally, there were hours after Real Madrid were eliminated from the quarterfinal of the Champions League, people were tossing out Jurgen Klopp's name, that they're making the approach and all of this stuff.
Xabi Alonso,
that he's out. Like, it's this hurricane of information. What's the situation going on at Real Madrid at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, it's Real Madrid, so it's to be expected. And listen, Carlo Ancelotti knows what this is all about. He's been here before, he's been in the game a long time, and he's not a naive guy. He knows that he has to win things and he has to get the team playing in a certain way. And I don't think that winning La Liga would be enough for him to keep his job. I think there's a general consensus that this team needs a different approach, shall we say, and he has not been able to get the best out of this team for whatever reason, and I don't think it's all his fault. By no means at all. I think the squad, as we've said before on the show, this squad is unbalanced. He was not given a balanced squad. It is very top-heavy with three exceptional forward players who all kind of like to play in the same position. Let's be honest. Rodrigo, Vinícius and Mbappe have similar characteristics. It's not like you've got three strikers and then you've got someone like Benzema or Haaland or someone, or even Joselu, who they had last season. It is very unbalanced. The midfield is unbalanced, and they lost Nacho in defence and didn't replace him. So the squad to begin with at the start of the season had some issues, and Carlo Ancelotti hasn't been able to get the best out of his team for whatever reason. So his days are numbered. Yes, I fully expect him to leave at the end of the season. Not before. There was a story going around that he was going to leave at the end of April after the Copa del Rey final. From what I'm hearing, that doesn't seem to be a viable option. But at the end of the season, I think they will part ways with the man who's been the most successful manager in the history of Real Madrid in terms of trophies. But it feels like this era has come to an end.
Phil, I couldn't agree more with you in terms of the unbalanced side, right? You have incredible attacking players, and I think defensively there are some gaps that they didn't fill in. Speaking of two players that you spoke of, Viní Júnior and Kylian Mbappe, both liking the left side primarily, coming inside, not typically your number 9 for either of them. Do you see Viní Júnior being sold this summer? Because there's been a lot of rumors, and I think Real Madrid can make a lot of money. Is this a real possibility?
I think it's on the table. It's definitely not out of the question. For a number of reasons. I mean, there's footballing reasons as well. Then there's off the pitch issues. And obviously, Viní has suffered terrible racism on a number of occasions in Spain. And it's something that has really kind of affected him on a personal level, as it obviously would. And there's other issues as well. I think some of the Real Madrid fans don't necessarily like his attitude in matches. I was there at the Bernabeu on Wednesday night, and I heard Mbappe getting whistled severely when he went off injured. Viní has been whistled quite a few times by Real Madrid fans this season in matches that Real Madrid have won, but they have still not been satisfied with his level of performance, with his level of commitment. So to answer your question, I think there is a chance he gets sold this summer. I think it is on the table. I'm not saying it will happen, but it's a chance that it happens, yeah.
Imagine, Phil, this team was rejecting going to Ballon d'Or because they all thought Viní Júnior should be winning, and here we are today. He's getting whistled off the pitch, and there's a chance he could be sold.
And not only that, the contract extension, right? They've been waiting it, teasing it, and for some reason, Real Madrid was waiting to see maybe where their team ended in the Champions League in this run, and so far we haven't got any news of that, so we have to wait to see what their decision is. I've said it on the show before, I would sell Viní, cash in, and with that money, get a striker and a center back.
Is there a particular striker?
I like Isak. He's been in La Liga before. He's shined in La Liga before.
Yeah, no. Phil, we talk Madrid. I want to go to the other half of the La Liga giants, FC Barcelona. They get the job done, but just in the second leg against Borussia Dortmund. When you look at the rest of the season and everything that's on the table, how big can this be a catalyst for Barcelona in terms of it being a wake-up call and a jolt for them to finish strong the rest of the way?
Yeah, listen, Barcelona have got a ridiculous schedule. They're in the middle of an absolutely ludicrous schedule. They're basically playing every 3 days. They have been since the end of March, and they will be until the end of May. 9 matches they're playing in April. Do they have the squad to get this over the line in the 3 competitions that they're in the latter stages of? That is my question. I think that I don't know. I think there are question marks. They had to rest Pedri against Borussia Dortmund, didn't they? They said, right, we're 4-0 up. We can give him some minutes off. But there was a bit of a lack of control without Pedri in the centre of midfield. Robert Lewandowski is pushing 37. He needs to be rested at certain points as well. Is there enough strength in depth for this Barcelona squad to go all the way in the 3 competitions that they're in the latter stages of? That's been my slight doubt over the last couple of games. Last 3 games, the goals have dried up a little bit. So this weekend, it's interesting. They're playing Celta Vigo. They're at home. It's a chance to move 7 points clear ahead of Real Madrid because they play on Sunday. And let's see how they approach this game, because the calendar is absolutely brutal for this Barcelona side.
It's been really interesting to see for all the output in the attack. I mean, Lamine Yamal, Rafinha, a lot of players looking very leggy, and maybe that fatigue that you're talking about starting to show some cracks in the pavement. I want to talk about a player that was injured for that second leg, Alex Balde. I think he's been fantastic. One of the unsung heroes. What's the latest update on his injury?
I think they need him back as soon as possible, because we saw Gerard Martin in that game against Borussia Dortmund. He is an Alex Balde, and you're absolutely right. He's one of the unsung heroes in this Barcelona side. He is one of a number of players that is possibly playing his best football ever under Hansi Flick. And Gerard Martin has come through the youth academy, and he's a Barcelona player. He can pass the ball well. He can position himself well. He's a bit taller and maybe a bit stronger than Balde, but Balde going forward offers you so much. He can beat players. He's a left back, but he's a real attacking threat as well. So they miss him, and he's not going to be available this weekend, I don't think. And yeah, as soon as he can come back, that'll be a big boost for Barcelona, because they need him. It's one of the areas, maybe when we're talking about the strength in depth, Gerard Martin can maybe come in and maybe do a job at home to Celta Vigo or at home to Mallorca, but in big games, away at Signal Iduna Park, like against Borussia Dortmund, I thought he was exposed.
Phil, here's €1,000. Take them, all right?
Cool.
Okay. Now, those €1,000, you need to put them on either Real Madrid going trophyless or Barcelona winning all 3 trophies remaining. Which one would you put your €1,000 on?
What an amazingly good question, Nico. You're good at this. That is a fantastic question. €1,000 on Real Madrid going trophyless.
Yeah, I think that's a smart bet.
I mean, look, because
the
they're in the final of the Copa del Rey, and Barcelona have thrashed them twice this season, and they're 4 points behind Barcelona in La Liga. So, yeah, I'll take your €1,000 and put it on that.
Yeah. Hey, Phil, that was an easy one. Don't give him that much credit. But now looking ahead to the Champions League matchup between Barca and Inter, it feels like Inter, given how good they are defensively, could be a really difficult opponent, especially on the counter when you're talking about players who have pace, who can score goals all over the place. They use width. What are you anticipating in this matchup?
I think it's a fascinating game, and I think it's a game that Barcelona really didn't want, actually. They were looking at potential opponents when the knockout stages came through, and you were doing the brackets, and you're saying, oh, Inter in the semis, that could be really difficult. Listen, Barcelona conceded 4 goals to Benfica in one game in the group stage. Inter have conceded 5 goals all season in the Champions League. I mean, defensively, they're absolutely extraordinary. And I think Barcelona are approaching this with a sense of excitement, because it's the first time they're in the semi-finals for 7 years. Let's not forget about that. But a little bit of trepidation, because they know that Inter are a physical side. They are strong. They are unbelievably well organized. They're a unit that's been playing together for a long time as well. And they are going to be very, very difficult for Barcelona. By the way, the first leg of this semi-final is 4 days after the Copa del Rey final against Real Madrid. So when I talk about this relentless schedule, it is huge for Barcelona. Massive game after massive game after massive game. So that could condition how they come into this semi-final as well. If they've lost the Copa del Rey, if someone's picked up an injury, who knows? They're not going to be able to rest players in the Copa del Rey final thinking about Inter, are they? So yeah, the schedule is really, really tough.